You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, the weight is already there. Not the blanket, not the air, the weight of numbers. The credit card balance that's been quietly growing like mold in the dark. The student loan that feels like a chain you didn't ask to wear. The overdraft fee that hit you yesterday when you weren't looking. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later, but later has been showing up for years and nothing changes. You shuffle to the kitchen, pour coffee, and stare at the steam curling up from the mug. It's warm, comforting, but in the back of your mind, you're already calculating. Rent, groceries, that minimum payment due in 3 days. You sip, but the taste is muted by the metallic tang of anxiety. You've been here before. Too many mornings like this. Here's the ugly truth no one tells you. Debt isn't just about money, it's about control. And right now, it's controlling you. Every decision you make, what you eat, where you go, who you see, is filtered through that invisible prison. You've been told to budget better or stop buying coffee, but deep down you know that's not the real problem. The real problem is that you've been playing defense your whole life, and defense doesn't win this game. I'm going to give you something different. Not a spreadsheet, not a lecture, a habit. One habit, 5 minutes a day. And if you actually do it, not think about it, not bookmark it, but do it, you will watch your debt die. Slowly at first, then all at once. And the best part? You'll feel the shift before the numbers even change. But before I tell you what it is, you need to understand why everything you've tried so far hasn't worked. You've been told to track your spending. That's like telling someone drowning to track the water. You don't need to know how deep you are. You need to know where the ladder is. And the ladder isn't in your bank app, it's in your brain. Debt thrives on avoidance. It feeds on the moments you look away, that unopened bill on the counter, that email from your bank you swipe away without reading. Every time you avoid it, you give it power. And the habit I'm about to give you? It's a weapon. A small, sharp blade you'll carry every day. 5 minutes, that's all it takes to start cutting the ropes. Picture this, it's 7:05 a.m. You're sitting at your kitchen table with a cup of coffee. The world is still quiet. You open one page, just one, where you keep a running list of every single debt you have. Credit cards, loans, that $200 you owe your cousin. You write them down, every balance, every interest rate, and then you do one thing. You choose the smallest one, and you attack it. Not with money you don't have, not with some grand gesture. You attack it with a plan so small it feels almost stupid. You decide, today, I'm putting $5 toward this. That's it. 5 minutes to look, $5 to act. And tomorrow, you do it again. And the day after, and the day after that. You're not just paying, you're training your brain to face the thing that scares you. You might be thinking, $5, that won't even cover the interest. And you're right. At first, it won't. But here's the thing. This isn't about the math yet. This is about momentum. You've been stuck because you've been waiting for the perfect moment to make a big move. That moment doesn't exist. What exists is today. And today you can win a small battle. The first week, nothing will look different. Your balances will barely move, but something inside you will. You'll notice you're not avoiding your bank app anymore. You'll start checking your balances without that punch of anxiety in your stomach. You'll feel lighter, not because the debt is gone, but because you've stopped running from it. And here's the secret no one tells you. Once you start facing your debt daily, your brain starts looking for ways to feed that habit. You'll skip a $10 lunch because you know you can throw that at your smallest debt. You'll sell something you haven't touched in years because you want to see that number drop. You'll start playing offense, and offense changes everything. Think of it like pushing a stalled car. The first shove feels impossible. Your muscles strain, your feet slip, and the car barely moves. But once the wheels start rolling, every push gets easier. That's what these 5 minutes are doing, breaking the inertia that's kept you stuck for years. And here's where it gets interesting. The habit doesn't just change your relationship with money, it changes your relationship with time. You start realizing that 5 minutes is enough to make a dent in anything. 5 minutes to send that email you've been avoiding. 5 minutes to clean the corner of your room that's been a mess for months. 5 minutes to call the person you've been meaning to reconnect with. You stop waiting for someday and start using today. The second week, you'll notice something subtle. You'll start thinking about your smallest debt during the day. Not with dread, but with curiosity. What else can I throw at it? That's the shift. Debt stops being this shadow that follows you and starts being a target you're actively hunting. And when you make that mental switch, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. That subscription you forgot you had? Canceled. That jacket you haven't worn in 2 years? Sold. That overtime shift you used to avoid? Taken. Every extra dollar becomes ammo, and you're suddenly a sniper instead of a sitting duck. You might even catch yourself smiling when you find an extra $3 in your pocket. Before, it would have vanished into a coffee or a snack you didn't need. Now it's a bullet for your smallest debt. You start to feel like a strategist in a war you're finally winning. But let's be real. There will be days you don't want to do it. Days when you're tired, stressed, or just sick of thinking about money. Those are the most important days to show up. Because the habit isn't about the amount, it's about the act. Even if all you can do is open your list, look at the number, and put in $1, you've still won. You've still faced it. This is where most people fail. They think missing one day doesn't matter, but missing one day turns into missing 3, then a week, then a month. And suddenly, you're back where you started. The habit works because it's daily. It's small enough to be impossible to skip, but powerful enough to change everything. By the 3rd week, you'll start to feel something you haven't felt in a long time. Control. Not total freedom yet, but control. You'll know exactly where you stand, exactly what you owe, and exactly what you're doing about it. That clarity is addictive, and once you taste it, you won't want to go back. You'll also notice your confidence bleeding into other areas of your life. You'll speak up more at work. You'll make decisions faster. You'll stop apologizing for things that aren't your fault. Because when you prove to yourself that you can take down something as heavy as debt, everything else feels lighter. And here's the kicker. People around you will notice. They won't know exactly what's changed, but they'll feel it. You'll carry yourself differently. You'll have this quiet certainty, like you're building something no one else can see yet. And you are. That's when the habit starts paying you in ways no interest rate can measure. You're not just killing debt, you're building discipline. You're building resilience. You're building the version of you who doesn't flinch when life throws a bill, a crisis, or a challenge your way. One morning, you'll look at that smallest debt and realize it's gone. 0. Paid. Dead. And you'll feel this rush. Not just relief, but proof. Proof that you can finish what you start. Proof that you're not stuck. Proof that you're dangerous now to any problem that thought it could own you. That victory will light a fire. You'll roll the money you were putting toward that debt into the next one, and the next. The snowball gets bigger, faster, heavier. What used to feel impossible now feels inevitable. You're not wondering if you'll be debt-free. You're counting down the days. Picture the moment you send that final payment on your smallest debt. You click confirm, and there's a second of silence. No fireworks, no applause. Just you staring at a screen that now says 0 paro. But in that quiet, something shifts. It's like a knot in your chest unravels. You breathe deeper. The air feels lighter. You didn't just pay a bill, you broke a chain. That night you sleep differently. Not because you're suddenly rich, but because you proved to yourself that you can finish something that once felt endless. You wake up the next morning with a strange mix of calm and hunger. Calm because you've tasted progress. Hunger because you want more. You roll the money you were putting toward that debt into the next one, and the next. The snowball grows. You start to see your debts not as a wall, but as a line of dominoes, and you've just tipped the first one. The sound of them falling is slow at first, but you know it's only going to get faster. Along the way, you hit obstacles. A surprise car repair, a medical bill, a friend's wedding you can't miss. Old you would have panicked, maybe even given up. New you pauses, adjusts, and keeps going. Because now you have a system, and systems survive storms. You also start noticing how your relationship with money changes in small, almost invisible ways. You check prices without resentment. You say no to things without guilt. You stop buying to feel better because you found a better feeling, progress. And here's the part no one warns you about. People will question you. They'll say, 5 minutes, that's nothing. They'll laugh when you tell them you're putting $5 a day toward your debt. But they won't be laughing when you're free and they're still stuck. Let them talk, you're too busy winning. By month 3, you've built something rare. Momentum and discipline working together. You're no longer just reacting to your finances. You're directing them. You're the one moving the pieces now. And every move is intentional. You start to imagine the finish line, not in vague terms, but in detail. You picture the day you make your last payment. You see yourself closing your laptop, leaning back in your chair, and smiling. Not because you're done, but because you know you'll never be in that prison again. You imagine what you'll do with the money that used to go toward debt. Maybe you'll build an emergency fund so nothing can knock you down again. Maybe you'll invest. Maybe you'll finally take that trip you've been putting off for years. The point is, you'll have a choice. And choice is freedom. And that's when it hits you. This 5-minute habit was never just about killing debt. It was about becoming the kind of person who faces problems head-on, every day, without flinching. The kind of person who doesn't wait for the perfect moment, but creates it. Imagine the day you make that last payment. You're sitting at your desk, the afternoon sun spilling across the keyboard. You type in the numbers, double-check them, and click Submit. There's a pause, a loading icon spinning like it knows this is a big moment, and then it's done. Balance, 0 euros. You lean back, and for the first time in years, your shoulders drop all the way down. You didn't just pay off a debt. You closed a chapter. You stand up, walk to the window, and look out at the street. People are rushing by, carrying bags, checking phones, living inside their own storms. But you're standing still, calm. You realize you've been carrying a weight so long you forgot what it felt like to be without it. and now it's gone. That night, you celebrate, not with something reckless, but with something meaningful. Maybe it's a quiet dinner with someone who believed in you. Maybe it's a walk alone, letting the cool air remind you that you're free. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You've already proven it to yourself. In the days that follow, you notice how different life feels without that constant background noise of worry. You open your bank app without hesitation. You make plans without calculating how much interest will grow while you're out. You start thinking about building, not just surviving. And here's the twist. The habit doesn't stop. You keep those 5 minutes, but now they're aimed at something new. Saving, investing, learning. You've trained your brain to show up daily, and that skill is worth more than any paycheck. You start to see the bigger picture. This was never about 5 minutes or $5. It was about identity, about becoming the kind of person who acts instead of avoids, who builds instead of waits, who faces instead of hides. And when life throws the next challenge, because it will, you'll meet it the same way you met your debt. Head on every day in small, relentless steps. You'll know that no matter how big the problem looks, you can chip away at it until it falls. So here's your moment. You can close this video and go back to hoping things will change, or you can take 5 minutes today and start making them change. Open your list, pick the smallest debt, put something, anything, toward it. Do it again tomorrow and the day after. Watch what happens. If this message hit you, if you can already feel that shift starting, don't let it stop here. Hit the like button so more people can find this and start killing their debt too. And subscribe to the channel, because this is just one weapon in your arsenal, and I've got a lot more to hand you. Your future self is going to thank you.